than 12 years after he was killed, Osama Bin Laden's old letter to America is going viral and has sparked a massive debate in the country. The letter was written a year after 9/11, in which more than 3,000 people were killed in terror attacks in the US. It was Bin Laden who orchestrated the attacks, directing his Al-Qaeda fighters to crash commercial airplanes into New York's World Trade Center and the Pentagon. The letter has surfaced at a time when Israel's war on Hamas has killed more than 12,000 Palestinians in the Gaza Strip in just 1 month. And the Biden administration is facing tough questions for its support for Israel.
What do we want? What do we want? Let Gaza live! Let Gaza live! Free Palestine!
Bin Laden's accusations against the US, particularly regarding its support for Israel and the perceived oppression of Palestinians, are the main themes in his letter. He blames the US for funding actions that lead to the suffering of Muslims in Afghanistan and Palestine, and justifies attacks on American civilians as a form of retaliation. In the letter, Bin Laden wrote, and I quote, "Palestine has been under occupation for decades, and none of your presidents talked about it until September 11, when Bush realized that your oppression and the tyranny against us were part of the reason for the attack. You have to implement a roadmap that returns Palestine to us, all of it, from the sea to the river. It is an Islamic land, not subject to being traded or granted to any party. Palestine shall not be seen as captive, for we will try to break its shackles. The United States shall pay for its arrogance with the blood of Christians and their funds." Osama Bin Laden's old letter surfaced on TikTok and amassed over 14 million views. While many expressed shock over the contents of the letter, many agreed with his perspective. Some users called the letter eye-opening and said they will never look at America in the same way again. Some argued that such sentiments may be part of a trend manipulation campaign, while others dismissed the idea of covering any truth in the letter. The White House has strongly condemned this online trend, calling it an insult to the victims of 9/11 and their families. Many have called for a ban on TikTok, accusing the Chinese-owned app of pushing pro-terrorist propaganda to influence Americans. TikTok on its part says videos featuring Bin Laden's letter violates the platform's guidelines.